Learning quadratic equations and basic arithmetic can be a challenge for millions of children, and even some adults. Don't ask me about any quadratic equations.
I was about to say, Tanya, without the Google machine, I couldn't tell you anything about it either. But a NASA engineer is now taking a creative approach to help students learn it. Take a look.
I'm gonna show you how to do this, how to convert units. All my scholars, raise your hands, cause we too busy schooling. It's simple.
The rapper in this video is Deja Williams. She's a quality engineer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab. She says using music to help students learn hard subjects in math and science can motivate them to pursue STEM careers.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment in STEM occupations has grown 79% in the past 3 decades. And that number is expected to rise another 11% by 2030.
However, there is still a major gap among Black and Hispanic workers. Pew Research shows they only make up 9 and 8% of the total STEM workforce.
For more on this, NASA engineer Deja Williams joins us to speak about. You got some cool headphones as well, and then we should say, Deja, you're not just any scientist. According to your website, you are, quote, the dopest NASA engineer anyone will ever meet. So I appreciate the enthusiasm and confidence. But tell us, what challenges have you faced as a minority, and why do you think there's this huge disparity for people of color in the STEM profession in general?
Well, it starts off with the stigma that math is hard or math is not for people of color. So moving past that, letting people know that you can pursue this, you can achieve this is one thing. And then a language barrier. There's a lot of times teachers can't communicate with the students can't communicate with the teachers, and there's no learning happening in an environment like that. So that's what I think the problem is.
And Deja, you've had such a unique story, right? I mean, I think it's actually very inspiring for people to know that you kind of came to math and science a little later in life, right? Basketball was your first love. Of course, you also love music, but you discovered it later in life. So I think that's important to let people know, because so many people think, you know, if I'm not a math and science genius by 5th grade, I'm already behind the curve. But that wasn't your experience, right?
Yes, math was very, very difficult for me. It took my 8th grade teacher making a mistake and putting me in honors geometry in high school for me to pursue this. I thought, when she put me in the class, I thought like, oh my gosh, she thought I could do this. I went to her, she told me it was a mistake, and it obviously really hurt my feelings, but I took that challenge to like, no, I'm gonna work past whatever these struggles are. Let me prove that I can do this. Because the second that she made me believe it, I thought I could do it. So why can't I? So led me all the way to NASA. Of course, there's some pit stops in between there.
And Deja, now you're connecting to the younger generation with music. So what inspired you to use music as a tool for teaching some of this tough material?
So my sophomore year, my teacher challenged the class to write a rap about the quadratic formula. I wrote it to a Soulja Boy song called Crank That, and it just carried me all throughout my college career. So, and I would also use little jingles here and there to remember things for tests. I would literally be singing in my head to finish a test. So I'm thinking, once I graduate college, how can I help other students achieve the same goals that I have? Let me just write more music. So that's how the music came about. It's taken off way further than I thought it would, but I'm happy that people are taking to it and enjoy it.
And I think it's taken off because it's so genius, right? Make it catchy, make it easy to remember. What then is your advice to people who want to follow in your footsteps?
My advice is just because someone looks outwardly smarter than you, you don't necessarily know what resources they may have to get them to that place. I always was sleepy in class and didn't do as well as my peers, but I was always confused. I thought I wasn't smarter, but I realized, you know, I have to take an hour bus ride to school, so they have more time to study. A lot of my peers, maybe their parents were a math teacher or engineer. They've been doing flashcards since they were 2. So it wasn't that I wasn't smart. It was I didn't have the resources. So I took it upon myself to find those resources so that I could catch up. So that's my advice is don't let people that look smarter than you make you feel that you're not smart. Just there's some steps to get there. That's all.
That is such great advice. And I wish that I had your rap songs in my ear when I was taking math in high school and college. Deja Williams, thank you so much for joining us. Such a pleasure to have you with us.